guys, how's it going? It's Al. Week 7 on DraftKings kicks off tomorrow morning. Be sure that tomorrow morning you're with me live on Twitch, where I do the Anti-Tinkercast 45 minutes before kickoff. The link is down below in the link tree, smizzle.tv/links. But we're going to talk about the 5 players that you need to play in tournaments this week to give you an edge on the field, because I think that these guys have tremendous ceilings and are projecting to be under 5% on a slate where we're having a bunch of players projecting over 20 and a few that are projecting over 30. So if you want to get different, if you want to get contrarian without being stupid, here's the 5 guys that I like the most in that range this week. Let's go.
He's a legend.
The Week 7 Smiz Gang Listener League is posted. You can go to smizzle.tv/links and you will find the link right there in the link tree, as well as everything else that I do. The Best Buys articles from ESPN Plus is up. The Discord channel is there for you to join. You can go to smizzle.tv/join and become a channel member here on the channel, which will get you access to all of the VIP rooms in the Discord. But most importantly, you want to get into this $10 3-max zero rake tournament, the best tournament that exists on DraftKings. It is not a lobby game. You cannot go to DraftKings and find the tournament. Every single week, multiple times in the replies, somebody says, hey, I can't find your league in the lobby on DraftKings. Right, of course you can't. It does not exist there because it has no rake. The best tournament can only be gotten to by the link. So go to smizzle.tv/links and enter today. It's going to fill before Sunday morning. So do not wait until right before kickoff to try and get in. Make sure that you get in early, go reserve a seat, use your missions if you have to, get the most value, extract the most value out of getting into this tournament already. And I'll shout out the winners on the fantasy football channel, smizzle.tv/ff on Monday on the Week 7 recap video. DeAndre Swift is projecting at 2.9%. Now, look, I'm going to tell you this much. This has a major caveat. Running back it's another one of those weeks. We've had one other week so far this year where I've felt this way, where there's 15 or more very, very good running back plays. They're all projecting very well. They're projecting at fantasy output above their salary expectation. A lot of them are 5-box running backs that we talked about earlier in the week on the Tuesday video. Many of them projecting for at least 2.5x their salary on median, and a bunch of them with ceilings above 25 DraftKings points. As such, a lot of running backs are projecting at 15% and above. So like getting different at running back this week, you don't really need to go down. So I'm only going to use one running back, and it's DeAndre Swift, projecting at 2.9% this week, coming back from an ankle injury, as they said all along that they're like, he's good enough to go right before their bye week, but they wanted to be safe and wait till after the bye week, assuming that he is a full go. And right now I am assuming that he is a full go, even though they've been taking it easy on him at practice. This is a situation where Dallas projects to play from ahead. They are 7-point favorites in this game, and so Detroit giving up as many points as they give up and as good in the passing game as DeAndre Swift is, and it's 6,800, which is a kind of a same price point pivot off of the 30 to 40% expected percentage points played on a Josh Jacobs at 6,500. He presents a nice pivot off of him with big time upside, 50-yard run, big splash upside, 50-yard run in week 2, 50-yard run in week 1, 20-yard catch in each of those 2 games as well. Scored a touchdown in both of those also. If he gets 6-7 targets in this game with 10 carries, that's the ideal usage for a running back. And the fact that he is under that amount against a defense that has been really solid up front, right? We don't want to just crash into a brick wall, but like, the Cowboys can be scored points against, and we know that the Detroit Lions can be scored points against. So the possibility of this game shooting out are not unlikely at all. And if they do, DeAndre Swift, if 100% healthy, which I project that he is going to be a part of it. So many running backs to play this week. You don't have to get under 5% there. There are other places you could do it. I'm going to highlight 3 running backs and 1 tight end for you to try and get there. Devontae Adams is an easy way. I already mentioned a way to same price pivot at the same position off of the projected Josh Jacobs chalk this week. But like, how about another way? How about we leverage him with Devontae Adams? How about we pay up to be contrarian with one of the best wide receivers in the league, who's averaging 22 fantasy points, clearly has a 30-point ceiling, even with Carr as his quarterback, 30.4 points in week 5, 33.1 points in week 1. We know that he can get there. Scored a touchdown in 4 of the 5 games so far this year, double-digit targets in 3 of the 5 games that he's played so far this year, projecting at 3.1% because everybody else is going for the brighter, shinier objects and paying down at very predictable positions and paying up at very predictable positions. The running backs that are 8,000-ish are going to be very popular as well. Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, as I said, very kind of, it's a very skinny slope for the running back usage this week, at least is what's projected in tournaments, because everybody's going to be between like 15 and 30%. There's going to be like at least 10 guys in that range. And the running backs are more of the wide receivers are more of a cliff. So nobody's going to pay up at wide receiver. So you're pivoting off of the high dollar running backs to a high dollar wide receiver on a full PPR with bonus this site. He's gotten you the 300-yard bonus 3 out of the 5 weeks also. 30-point days are just a part of his game. And if he's going to be under 30%, this is kind of a place that I want to go to in tournaments, is Devontae Adams. Mike Evans is another guy that lives on that line as well. 6,900. Everybody's going to be playing CeeDee Lamb. He is the same price point pivot off of him, projecting at 4.5% this week, so just under the 5% threshold for me to be able to use in this video. Tampa Bay, one of the higher team totals on the week. Even though the game total here is only 40, they're above the magic number of 24, which is where we start to see fantasy expectations rise. Games that have a total of 25, 6, 7 are things that we do want to pay attention to. Mike Evans has scored more touchdowns the last 3 seasons than any other wide receiver that is out there. Hasn't really gotten to pay dirt as much as we wanted to expect this year. Had one called back that should have been a touchdown. Like, he could easily have 4 or 5 touchdowns so far. He was suspended for a game. He got kicked out early from another game. And so people aren't willing to pay that $6,900 to get to Mike Evans. Also, they're more than willing to pay for Chris Godwin, who's a little bit cheaper. So you get a same price pivot off of a chalk player. You get a pivot on the same team off of a higher projected played guy in Godwin on his own team. So like, there's multiple ways that you're getting different here, and under 5% with massive touchdown upside. Mike Evans is part of a one-off, a double stack, or a secondary stack is fine with. Take part in our charity fundraiser for No Kid Hungry. Go to smizzle.tv/charity if you wanted to participate. Every single dollar helps. If you can donate $1, $5, $10, or if you can donate $100 or more. We've had people donate like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 at one time. If you are that type of a baller, get in where you fit in, but be a part of something great, because No Kid Hungry is providing school breakfast, lunches, as well as at-home care to food insecure kids all across America. We get to play daily fantasy because we have that sort of, disposable income in our lives. We're playing pick'ems for like $10 or $20, just trying to 10x or 3x or 6x on those. We have a little bit of extra money in our pockets, so why not do something, a little bit of something that's nice for somebody else without expecting anything back in return, except for the fact that every $10,000 that our community raises, I will be matching $10,000 myself up to $50,000. So together we can get to $100,000 raised for No Kid Hungry. And every single donation that you make is 100% tax deductible. It goes through Tiltify. They will send you all of the tax paperwork that you need. So go to smizzle.tv/charity and donate today. Michael Pittman Jr. is 7,400. Again, kind of a similar price pivot, coming off of a 13-catch, 16-target performance against Jacksonville, is playing on the road in Tennessee in a game where they are underdogs, and we would be amiss to not expect them to be in positive game script situations where they would have to throw the ball. And when they do throw the ball, it's going to go to Pittman a lot. It's just going to be headed in his direction. We saw a major resurgence from Matt Ryan last week when he's not lying horizontally on the ground and they can keep him vertical. He can deliver the football. And Michael Pittman has been the best recipient of that they have on this team. Projected right now at 1.5% played. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, you could go really high on a secondary stack. Maybe you're interested in playing the big dog, a $5 running back, Derrick Henry at running back, and then maybe you correlate him on the other side with Michael Pittman. That might be a really good idea in tournaments. I'm just pontificating at this point and just talking out loud about, whatever there is to talk about, because like at 7,400, he definitely has touchdown and multiple touchdown upside, even though he's only visited the painted area once this year. On the amount of targets that he gets and the amount of yards and his ability to get separation and his contested catch ability in short or small spaces, Michael Pittman looks like a fantastic tournament play this week, as well as having big time plays on the other side that a lot of people want to flock to, but may not be bringing it back with Michael Pittman. If you're still watching the video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell. I'd greatly appreciate you booping the snoot on that like button. Doesn't take much. One click, costs you absolutely nothing. Let me know below if you think Michael Pittman is a solid GPP play in week 7. And our last player on the list, Travis Kelce. If you want to get different this week in daily fantasy tournaments, everybody is going to be playing $3,300 and down tight ends. Dulcich is in play. The Island of Foster Moreau is in play. Evan Engram is another running a lot of routes play that he's running routes on like 85% of his quarterbacks dropbacks. And it's a dink and dunk offense. I do like the way that they're utilizing him this year, all those sorts of things. And then you got Kate Otten on Tampa Bay. There's like 4 options. 3 of them are under 3K. And if people are paying up, they're more likely going to pay up for Mark Andrews, who has been the second highest scoring tight end in terms of DraftKings points on the season. Travis Kelce, though, in a bad matchup, right? Fully conceding that this is not a great matchup against San Francisco. This is still a very high totaled game. The Chiefs have a team total of like 26 expected points. It's not like San Francisco is going to shut them out. Kelce getting a ton of usage with 7 or more targets in every game, 8 or more in 5 of 6. 7 touchdowns on the year. 4 of them did come in one game, so fine. But there are very few tight ends that have the ability to get you that 100-yard bonus on DraftKings, which he has done twice this year, who project to catch 7 or more balls on a week-in, week-out basis, and regardless of how good that San Francisco defense is, and they are very, very good. Travis Kelce should never be 1.4%, especially when tight end is such a differentiator this year, with him and Andrews averaging 20 points a game. And like, if everybody's going to be on the tight ends that are just there for value, where like if you get 9 points out of any one of those sub 3K tight ends, you're going to be like, hey, I got 9 points out of a 2.5K player. That's great. But like Travis Kelce can easily get you 25 points. And that's going to put you 15 to 16 points ahead of those other cheap plays. And then maybe you can try to find ways to make it up elsewhere on your lineup. And that's what it comes down to when you're trying to win tournaments, is getting different in a smart way so that you can differentiate your lineups from where the chalk is, from where the crowd goes, to find your way all the way to the top. I wish you the best of luck this week. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.